This meeting is being recorded. Yes, it is. It's my first opportunity to uh, be in board presence with our two new members. I want to first of all welcome you to this board. I don't have to waste any time telling you how important this board is because if it wasn't important, you wouldn't be involved in it. Uh, it is a very critical board. We've existed for almost 3 years now. Uh, I don't think that there are many boards in this city that are as committed, competent, and capable as the members of this board has proven themselves to be. We have a very good staff. The staff has been exceptionally supportive of the work of the board. And I just want to say, as the chair, welcome, and we also welcome your insight, your opinions, your direction, and your presence. And so I want to make sure that we officially say thank you for taking on this responsibility. Quick update on correspondence. This is just for the record. I'm not going to obviously read it into the minutes. I'm not going to read the content. But on September 30th, I received a letter from Spooner Law LCC trial attorneys reference a claim for Katrina Kelly deceased. That was hand delivered to the city of St. Louis, the office of the city commissioner, acting commissioner of corrections, director, Department of Public Safety, and it was mailed to me. Excuse me. I won't go into its contents only because it is a legal matter. I'm just sharing that as information that as a board, we did receive the letter. I will work with the acting commissioner for the DFOB to get this letter to her so that she can forward the letter to all of the board members so that you will at least be apprised of its content. Uh, we have been in communication with Ms. Nicole Barton, who chairs the city's uh, Criminal Justice Coordinating Committee. She serves as its director regarding filling the remaining two positions for the board. She indicated to me in correspondence that she would forward that information to the appropriate people within the administration. I contact, we've been, I've sent, I would say at least 3 or 4 letters of communication regarding those vacancies last week. And Ms. Barton has been very helpful in trying to provide information. In our last correspondence, she indicated to me that she would forward my request for information to the appropriate people within the administration boards and appointments. To date, I have not heard anything regarding the replacement of the 2 additional board members. You know, our complement is 9. We currently have 7. And so it really is important for quorum purposes that we get those other 2 board members seated. My understanding from talking to members of the community, there are several people who have submitted their names to be considered, and they are still awaiting some communication regarding their status. And so it is our fervent hope that those responsible for taking the applications, vetting the applications, and moving them forward would do so with more of an urgency. So that's where we are right now. And I spoke to Ms. Barton about participating in, or at least being in attendance at the next meeting of the coordinating committee. And she did give me the date, which I am looking for. I'll share that with you. I believe it's in December. Uh, and I just asked if I could attend that meeting as a visitor, a guest, an observer, uh, in order to determine what it is that they do, and how their work impacts what we do as a board. And so I'll also forward uh, that meeting information to other board members. And if you are interested in attending the meeting of the St. Louis Criminal Justice Coordinating Committee meeting, I will send Ms. Barton's information as well. And if you will contact her directly, she might be able to facilitate your being able to participate in that meeting. Also, in my communication with the acting director, acting commissioner, excuse me, for DFOB, I made a request that the acting commissioner for corrections be on this call tonight. I have not received any communication as to whether or not she received the request, or if she responded to the request, or if she's going to be here tonight. And maybe that will come up when the acting commissioner gives her report. But it was our understanding, per the ordinance and the memorandum of the mayor, that upon proper and timely notice, that various city officials would make themselves available to attend this meeting to give a report um, uh, regarding concerns, actions that this board, questions that this board may have. I indicated in my request that all we wanted, because we were dealing now with an acting commissioner and had not had an opportunity to communicate with the senior staff of CJC in some time, that we simply wanted to get an update on general conditions. We didn't want to talk about anything specific. We didn't want to talk about any legal matters. We didn't even want to talk about complaints per se, but just wanted a general update, a report on the general conditions of the CJC as related to detainees, services provided to detainees, morale, just general stuff. Um, and I have not heard anything as to the availability of the acting commissioner, Ms. Tammy Ross, to present herself before this board. My concern, board members, is that if the ordinance and the mayor's memorandum states that if we do due diligence, provide a timely request, that specific city officials would make themselves available, at the very least, we should be able to get a response as to I am available or I'm not, and this is when I am. Again, I see it as an affront to this board and to the authority of this board and to the authority of the ordinance and the mayor's memorandum when we can't get city officials to even respond to a simple request to come make presentation. And finally, did request the names of the current dorm representatives in the CJC. We understood that Some of those names have changed. I do appreciate the fact that we did receive the names of the dorm representatives current. What we don't have, well, what I don't have, and hopefully it'll be reported in this meeting, is a date and time in which we can meet with the dorm reps. We've got names, but we don't have date or time when we can meet. And I do want to reiterate, uh, we don't want to meet with the dorm reps regarding their specific charges. We understand that if we meet with the dorm reps regarding their specific charges, then they have to be accompanied by a lawyer. Uh, DFOB has got to be accompanied by a lawyer. And the city of St. Louis reserves the right to have legal representation present as well. That's not what we're asking for. We have absolutely no need to talk to detainees about their cases, but we have a responsibility to talk to dorm representatives about the general conditions of the CJC. And to date, we have not had an opportunity to do so. And so we will correspond again through our staff to try to facilitate A, the presence of the acting commissioner, and B, an opportunity to meet with the dorm reps without attorneys to discuss with a level of confidentiality for them and protection for them, general conditions of the jail based upon their appointment and or selection to represent detainees. To date, we have 755 detainees in the Criminal Justice Center based upon the website that I looked at today, 755. That concludes my report and the update on correspondence. I'll entertain any questions that board members might have regarding my report and information based on correspondence.
Chairman Gray, it's
Yes.
I don't know quite where to present this, so I'm going to do it here on your report. You charged Ms. Arnitha and Ms. Kanika and I to do an annual action plan that's required by the mayor's executive order. We met. I shared a draft with the board. Kanika did most of the heavy lifting on it. Thank you very much.
Can we do this, Secretary Walker? Can we add that under new business, an update on the annual action plan? I do recall requesting that it be part of the agenda. I assumed that it would come under new business. That's why I kind of
okay.
anchored
Yeah,
it.
that was my question was we just need to get it on the agenda. I don't know if people are prepared to discuss it tonight or not, but we need to move it forward somehow.
Well, I do have it under new business under the.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Any other questions to me regarding my report and an update on correspondence? Any at all from board members? Okay. Seeing none, update on training and board appointments. I think I might have spoke to board appointments. I'm going to ask our acting commissioner, Lyles, if she would give us an update on training and if she has any information on board appointments, if that could be shared at this time.
Okay, good evening, Division of Facilities Oversight Board members, to the Division of Civilian Oversight staff, and to the general public. You gave me a laundry list of things I'm going to address. First off, I want to say that I want to begin by saying we had our staff, the Division of Civilian Oversight staff, 4 members. My voice sounds kind of raspy, so forgive me for that. But we had an opportunity to attend the National Associations of Civilian Oversight of Law Enforcement the week of October the 17th, 13th through 17th. It was a very informative conference. In the future, I'll just make that brief, but I will be putting out the 2023 annual report for the NACOLE conference. Will be going on our website. I've also, while I was there, invited several other oversights, Chicago, New York, Colorado, and California, to ask them in the future to have an opportunity to come and speak during one of your board meetings. So I'll let you know that in advance. So I can move forward and address some issues you're talking about. When you
Before
start,
you do that,
Uh-huh.
Acting Commissioner, can I ask a question just quickly
Yes, you
regarding
may.
the convention?
Mhm.
Was this convention for staff only? Is there an opportunity? That's one question. Was it for staff?
Oh, yeah, and that's very important. One of the things that we're looking forward to trying to do in the future is include a line item in our budget that we can have with the boards, the COB as well as the DFOB, that we can have an opportunity for one or two board members to be able also to attend. I think it'd be very informative. You find out that, I'm gonna just say this, some of the issues that we're dealing with right now, because there's very few oversights in this country, they're actually doing oversight of the jails. So we were in that rare category, and we also in that very rare category of doing both jails and police. The issues that we have, sorry to say that others have the same issues too as well, but being able to meet with other agencies and find out how they're handling those situations has helped us out a great deal. So we will be communicating with them, and hopefully in the future that, thinking about it, that they have board members as well, some of them, that we can also, I'll give the links, because they have open meetings. Their whole meeting is open. So you have opportunity to listen in on some of their meetings and get an idea of how they're doing things, and also be able to ask questions as well. So that is something we're hoping for the new budget, that we can have that line item.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Oh, no problem whatsoever. Also, when you start talking about the additional board members, I met with on Monday, I met with we have called a working group on Mondays with the COB working group, and they talked about, we also brought the situation involving additional board members. They did announce, the mayor's office did announce that they have received those additional applications, and they're in the process of vetting them. There were some concerns about individuals. I will say there's those who have been incarcerated. They've been released. That's not an issue, but the issue is whether or not they still on paper for his probation and parole. So that was a concern of theirs. So without going any further into that, I did say that with the next meeting, if you have not gotten the additional 2 members you have, I asked the individual in the mayor's office who handles that area if they would be willing to come and speak at the next board meeting, so they can explain more in detail as to what they're asking of individuals to be on the board. And that way, if the public or the board has some questions, they can do so at that time.
Thank you very much.
When it comes down to the getting into the, I did reach out to the Detention Facilities Acting Commissioner Tammy Ross, and asked her if she'd be willing to come and present during this board meeting. I did not receive a response. I will continue with that. I will also say I'm kind of hopeful that will happen in the future, because I met with Nicole Barton and expressed some concerns that we have for as not being able to get into the facility, how we can move forward for us doing investigations, because the mayor is also very much concerned as well. So we're going to be having meetings and developing a procedure in which we can move forward, because one of the things we talked about was a hindrance was the consent to engage form that was being presented. And we discussed that the fact that even though we have not received maybe permission from the attorney to go talk to their detainee in the jail, we have enough information that we've asked for its documentation that we should be receiving, that we can start our investigation. So that would not be a hindrance. My thinking is that will occur, and I'll be able to give a better update with the next meeting. I did ask for September the 10th, the detention facility did give us a list of dorm rep members. So I've asked for an updated list, and so they have provided an updated list. I've reiterated the fact that when the DFOB board goes in, or either the DCO staff goes in, we're not talking to them about their criminal cases. The only thing we're concerned about is what their complaints about. I will say this, that when I saw Director Coyle briefly the other day, he did mention that he felt that should be no hindrance in us getting in or you getting in if it's concerning a complaint and not a criminal case. So I think people are beginning to pay attention. We're sending out a lot of emails reiterating what the laws and the rules state, and so therefore I'm hopeful. I've been with Civilian Oversight since 2016, and I'll say for me to be hopeful, that says a lot. So moving forward.
I ask, I'm sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
I don't want to lose anything. May I ask a question regarding, Madam Acting Commissioner, so we made the request to the Acting Commissioner to attend this meeting per the ordinance and per the mayor's memorandum. And
Yes.
you're saying on record that she has not responded to our invitation to present.
No, she did not respond. And
All right.
I am going to send that response back out again, and I will CC you on that request again, as well as I also CC the Director of Public Safety on that request and as well.
Okay, and then the other question, just based upon that part of your report, you mentioned developing procedures in order to do the investigations. My recollection is we have developed procedures.
That's
Those
true.
procedures are at or still with or on the desk of the Director of Public Safety because he expressed some concerns. I believe those concerns were responded to. Why do we have to go back and develop something that we've already developed? We're just waiting on the Director of Public Safety to send it back to us so that we can use it to operate. Is that where we are right now?
I wouldn't say that we're there at that particular time because we're the dialogue between Nicole Barton and also and she's been communicating with the Director of Public Safety. I think the dialogue is moving in a direction where that would not be a concern. And I'm just speaking from my ability to be able to have more meetings with them about that, because there should not be, for us moving forward and getting information, just getting information in general would be very important. We're going to ask the Director of Public Safety. He did say he had a concern about something in the for as the phrase, a couple of lines. We're asking him if he will give us more detailed information about what he's seeking. If not, then we may have to actually move forward on what we have right now. I mean, let's be quite honest about it. And see what happens from there. We're not trying to violate the ordinance, but by the same token, we're also trying to fulfill what the ordinance is saying for us doing investigations, and it comes down to detention of facilities oversight. So
But just for the record, just for the record, I want us to make sure that there's some things that are on record. The procedures, DFOB did its job along with staff, and we presented procedures to the Director of Public Safety for his review and approval, and that's been at least 3 or 4 months. So that procedure has been on his desk for the last 3 or 4 months without any communication as to what the specific concerns he has regarding what was presented, nor a recommendation to the contrary. And so it needs to be on record, because what I don't want, Madam Acting Commissioner, I don't want the public to think that things are being stalled because the board is not doing its job or that the staff is not doing its job. The board did what the ordinance authorized us to do with staff in consultation with all of the responsible parties and all of them within city government, and we presented the procedures as the ordinance dictates that we do. The procedures were submitted to the Director of Public Safety 3 or 4 months ago. And so I just want that to be on record. So thank you very much. I'm sorry, Commissioner, please continue.
Oh, no problem. I truly do understand. That's why I come having these upcoming meetings and documenting those meetings, and also CCing you on the results, and the fact we're having those meetings is extremely important. And I do understand. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was for the training. There will be another training session, joint training session for the new members of the DFOB with the COB on November the 7th and also on November the 18th. And that should fulfill the requirements for the training itself in its entirety.
Excellent.
But there's so many things going on. Also, I got a lot of things happening here. Get that. I will want to let you know that, and one of the reasons I feel so positive about things moving forward, we have some new staff members. And so as we get a more full complementary staff, that means we can get more things done. And so we have 2 new staff members. We have Candace Raper. She is our administrative assistant too, and she's waving right there. And she will be one of those individuals. I know you're accustomed to hearing Amy Haddock when she calls in. You'll also be hearing Candace's voice as well as saying, hello, how may I help you? Calling Division of Survey and Oversight. And the other individual that we've hired is a legal investigator in our office is Reddick Hudson. So he will also be someone that will help. So you see his picture, he's raising right hand. So now we only have a couple more people that we need to hire, but that we can actually accommodate in our office, because the office kind of filled to the brim. But we're hiring individuals who have skills and abilities that can help us move forward. And also that will be a great help to not only to the DFOB, but also to the staff. So that's very important. One of the things I want to tell you is that, good news is that according to Ordinance 717.9, as I don't know whether you remember or not, back in, I think it was back in May, when we were doing the budget, one of the questions that came up was about our annual report. Well, our annual report for covering 2020, 21, 22, and I believe 23, at least 3 years on the director's of public safety's desk. As we further review the ordinance, and Section 5 of the ordinance clearly states that we do not have to get the director's approval to put our annual report on the website, but we have to do according to Section 5E. Annual accountability states that the Division of Civilian Oversight shall prepare an annual report, and that's reviewed and comment by both the COB and the DFOB. So you can expect for in the next meeting, I'll be sending out, we already have the report ready. You will be receiving that annual report for you to review prior to the meeting. So if you have any comments, any questions, we will already have those already in tow and be able to respond. So that's something you should be receiving within the next, I'll say at the most 5 days, if that long, you'll be receiving that. And that means that it'll be addressed to the mayor, the board of aldermen, and chairpersons. And when it's presented to you all and you give your feedback on it, then we will also have to present it to the board of aldermen and other individuals as reference to the ordinance. So we had not done that for quite some time, but we're getting back on track. So we will have I have to apologize. We didn't, for various reasons, which we'll put in our disclaimer on our website as to why come the reports are late, but we'll also be generating the annual report and also the quarterly reports as well. So we are moving forward in a positive direction.
Excellent. Do any board members have any questions, comments to be directed to our acting commissioner? Excuse me.
Go ahead, Usman.
Just a quick question. Thanks, Board Member Lyles. I was asking when we'll get, I don't think I've gotten timing for those other 2 training dates that you mentioned?
We're looking at, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's starting from 5 to 7, but I think it might be 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock on that, but I will confirm that, and you will get a notice in enough time that that can be modified if need be. We want to make sure everyone gets online so they can get ready to fully participate. And some of those trainings are actually in video form, so I will get with Nicole Barton, and whatever we can do to make sure that we can expedite the situation, we definitely will do that.
Any of the board, I think Secretary Walker, did you have a question, comment, concern?
Yes, as we were talking about the protocols, it dawned on me that we probably need to share the latest version of that with both Ms. Harper and Mr. Gay. I can look back and see what I have and forward it, but I'm not absolutely positive I have the final version. I know there was some back and forth with the public safety director.
Well, what I'll do, Secretary Walker, I'll make sure that all the board members get the updated one. That way we know that, you won't be confused and whether or not you got the older version or the new, because that's the one we have to adhere to as well. So that way make sure you have the updated one.
Perfect. Thank you.
Any other board members?
Another point.
Go ahead.
I just want to make sure that there was receipt of the confidentiality forms. I know those were.
I will be sending those out this week.
Okay.
And that way, when you sign those, there'll be a copy of go into your folder here in the office, and it'll be a Maver record.
Thank you so much.
Anyone else? Again, for the record, Commissioner Lyles. So is it accurate to state that staff still has not been able to conduct any interviews based upon complaints at this time?
That is true, but I'll say this, when I revisited everything, one of the things I spoke briefly with Director Quall about yesterday was the fact that although we have not had an opportunity to speak to the detainees, that's only one element of an investigation.
Right.
So therefore, the ability to speak to the correctional officers, because every time there is an incident that occurs in the jail, an investigative inquiry goes from our office over to corrections, stating what the incident is and also what type of documents we're looking for. We're looking for witness statements. That's not only witness statements of detainees, we're asking for witness statements of the officers as well. Certain reports, inspection reports, medical reports, things of that nature. And I said to him, those things are not covered by, you got to get consent from an attorney. Those are just natural things we should be getting. So, and he agreed with me on that. So I will be compiling a very comprehensive request. It's asked for those reports that we've asked on all of those incidents that have occurred within the jail. So that way, there's no reason for us not to get that documentation. So I feel that that's why I feel positive about what's going on. I'm a firm believer that we may have went down a rabbit hole with one thing and didn't think about all that other stuff. So right now we're since we got more staff, we got more brains to think. We said, okay, let's go there. So what you don't give us, because let's be quite honest, I've done investigations as far as the jail for 14 years prior to coming to civilian oversight. And most of the times before you even talk to a detainee, you need to see certain documents anyway to compile your questions. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go that route.
All right, thank you. Just for clarification on the minutes to the board members, under 4C, discussion of recent news article, that also pertained to the letter from Spooner Law. It was in reference to the media account simply stated that the lawyers for the late Miss Kelly had reached out to city officials, and so that's all that was. The news article and what I indicated to the board regarding the letter sent from the lawyer really was the full extent of the discussion on that particular article. Before we go to public comments, any additional questions, comments, concerns for our acting commissioner?
Well, let me make another comment too. There's something that's, let me update you on. When we get ready to have our meetings, we have to notify the Secretary Attorney's Office and the Police Department. Both of those agencies did respond, and they don't have any investigations at this time that they're conducting. So therefore, just letting you know that. So there's nothing we can do at this time that would interfere with what they're doing.
That's excellent news for all board members who may not know. I'm sure that all of you have at least casually reviewed the ordinance that we're governed by. This board cannot engage in any investigations on detainees if there is an ongoing legal investigation that's being done by the police or, my understanding, other city entities. And so the fact that what we are hearing today is that with the cases that we've been talking about over the last, say, 18 months, that if the board is inclined at any point, or the staff, to seek more information regarding certain detainees, then that restriction is now lifted due to the fact that there are no pending criminal investigations anyway that are being done by the police or other city city departments. So thank you for a very thorough report, Acting Commissioner. Do we have any idea on, and I guess this may not be for you, that might be a conflict of interest, on when the Director of Public Safety is going to make a decision on a permanent commissioner? Do we have any information, or would that be I don't want to put you in a bad position either. I don't want to make you uncomfortable, but.
Well, I've been with Civilian Oversight since 2016. I think being uncomfortable is something I put to the side a long time ago. He has not indicated one way or the other. I will just say this: I'm committed to seeing Oversight work. So if I'm not picked as the commissioner, which I hope I am, I'm not going to go away. At least not gently into this good night. You can say that.
All right.
I'll
we
stick
appreciate
around in
you.
some capacity.
Well, we want to say we appreciate the work that you've done. You've been extremely supportive of this board from day one, and exceptionally knowledgeable, and you've helped us tremendously.
Well, let me say this, Reverend Gray. I have to give kudos to the team that I have been gifted with. It has been truly a pleasure to work with the DCO team. It's a pleasure every day to come into my office. So it's just not just me by myself. I have excellent support from everybody.
Amen. And for the public record, we've gotten, I know board members have gotten calls as it relates to Commissioner Clemens Abdullah. We've made it very clear that as a board, we do not comment publicly on personnel matters. We understand that she's on leave, and we hope her nothing but the best, but we will not comment or speculate on anything as it relates to Commissioner Clemens Abdullah. So just wanted to be clear, we will not comment or speculate on anything relating to the commissioner. It would be totally inappropriate, particularly based on the fact that she is on a legal leave of absence. And so just wanted to make sure we were clear. Public comments. Do we have anyone signed up, or anyone who wants to share with us? Public comments, 3 minutes per person. Has anyone been identified? I'm going to say public comments going once. If you do, just hit, put up your hand or hit one of those buttons and thumbs up or hand waving, and it will.
Barbara has her hand up.
Yeah, I'll put on a different hat as a member of the public, but I saw
Yes.
today, we were talking before about the Office of Violence Prevention, and just in case people are interested or they have, you all work with stakeholders, they have something going on at St. Mary's High School on November 16th on Grand. And not only are they giving information out about violence prevention, behavioral health, conflict mediation, trauma, and things for youth, but they're also having, they're giving away turkeys for the holiday on a first come, first served basis. And I just wanted to pass that on.
That was great. So that's November 16th?
Yes.
At what time?
2 p.m. to 6. And the turkeys are a first come, first served, but I can try to get a flyer and send it if they will send me one.
That would be great, and that way we can circulate it throughout our networks too. I wanted to know the time so I could be there at 1:30 to make sure I got a turkey. All right. Last call for public comments. Any other any other public comments? All right. New business, annual action plan. Secretary Walker, you have the floor.
Yes, at this point, I'd just like to kind of propose a process to the board, make sure it's okay, how we move forward. If everyone on the board would give their comments to either Ms. Harper or Ms. Lewis Wells or myself, we could incorporate them into the document and then bring it back to the full board for discussion and a vote.
For public purposes, so that we're clear, could you explain for those who are watching who may not be familiar with the working plan and why that working plan is important? Could you just give a summary of what that work plan should entail?
Sure. The mayor's executive order not only had the division requirement that they do an annual action plan, it also required the board itself to have an annual action plan, which hopefully will reflect or be coordinated with or not conflict with the division's plan. And I think it should have some goals, maybe a vision statement. I think what we sent out to people propose some very specific things that we might want to get done this year. And then we would, once we adopt that officially as a board, we would track our progress throughout the year. And at the end of the year, do a brief report about how well we did on accomplishing things. So where we are in that process is there was a subcommittee appointed that was Ms. Harper, Ms. Lewis Wells, myself. Ms. Harper did a lot of the writing, proposed a draft to us, which we liked very much. I shared that with some of my scribbled notes on it to the rest of the board. Asked for feedback. I haven't heard anything yet. We cannot evidently discuss it through email, but you could send board members could send written comments to one of us. And then we could incorporate those and move it forward.
Okay. Any other board members, particularly those who are part of that process, anything you would like to add? I know for two of our board members, a lot of this is new, so it's just a matter of getting information and playing catch up. From what I understand, the two new board members that we have don't need a whole lot of time for catch up. So, so we can have that on the agenda. We'll place that on the agenda, Secretary Walker, for our final meeting of this year. And so you and your subcommittee based upon input that you get, if you're prepared to present something, I think that will be helpful. I think it's important to note that at least two of us will be termed out in January, which is why I didn't place the vice chairman's position on here. Thought that it just might be better to leave that to the new board coming in January to give everybody an opportunity to work together. But if the board members wish to do otherwise, the chair is definitely open to doing that. So I just wanted to give a explanation on why that was not on the agenda. Is there any other new business to come before this body? Wow, we did a 1 hour meeting. All right, let's then look at the planning for our next meeting. And as I indicated, I will get to you the letter from the Spooner Law. I will get to you the date for the St. Louis Criminal Justice Coordinating Committee and Ms. Barton's contact information if you are interested in sitting in on that meeting. And then Secretary Walker will continue to coordinate and communicate with board members individually as it relates to the action/work plan. And we'll look forward to hearing from our acting commissioner about the concerns that have been raised today regarding filling vacant seats, the procedure, process and procedures, annual report and the annual report, and the availability of the acting commissioner, Ms. Ross, to participate in our final meeting. Yes, go ahead.
Reverend Gray, I do have one other concern, since you get ready to talk about the about the scheduling of the next meeting.
Yes,
I want to let you know that, the CO, we have two boards, the COB and the DFOB. And the COB has chosen the third Monday of each month for their meetings. So that's not on the table. Just let you know.
Good. Mondays have become problematic for me too, so that's good.
Okay.
So I think, Barbara, so my suggestion was going to be the week of the 16th, either the 17th or the 19th of December would be our last meeting for the year.
Of December.
Yeah, of December, either the 17th or the 19th of December, either that Tuesday or that Thursday. Do board members have any problem with either one of those dates? And then we can leave it to our acting commissioner to based upon staff availability, based upon the work that they're doing and trying to get some answers for us. But we are looking at what are those two dates I said?
The 17th and the
17th and then 19th.
Yeah. Do board members have any problems with either one of those dates? Yes.
For myself, I prefer the 17th.
Okay. Anybody have any objections to the 17th?
I'll have a work conflict.
All right. So our next scheduled meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, December 17th at 5 p.m. If there is no other business, I will accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
It's been probably moved by Board Member Gay. Seconder.
Second. I
Been probably
second.
moved second. All in favor say aye. Contrary minded nay. Motion carries. We are officially adjourned at 6:02 p.m. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.